It should have been the happiest day of Isra Sablani's life. No one could have imagined how it would end. The ground erupted, the skies split apart, an explosion of unimaginable force.
Oh my God!
More than 2,500 tons of ammonium nitrate had been left to rot here in Beirut's port. And when it detonated, it took just seconds to lay waste to much of this vibrant ancient city. It was one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in history. The blast killing more than 200, injuring thousands, and leaving nearly 300,000 Beirutis homeless. And many in shock. 1 year on, Dr. Sablani and her husband Ahmed have returned to the same spot.
We hid ourselves there.
Their anniversary will forever be remembered by most for all the wrong reasons.
I don't remember anything of that night, other than death. We remember death. Our life was about to end, instead of starting a new life.
Although still under investigation, a recent report by Human Rights Watch concluded some officials were warned at least 2 weeks prior to the blast that chemicals were being stored unsafely, and residents blame the government for their inaction.
They killed us. In the Beirut port blast, they killed us. They killed people and made all of us live in terror.
Little's been done to bring justice to the victims. And Lebanon's now mired in an economic crisis among the worst the world's seen, and each day it's getting worse. Inflation skyrocketed, power outages go on for hours, and fuel has become a luxury item.
All Lebanese people, they are waiting in the line to get fuel for their cars, from half an hour till 3 hours.
More.
Or more. It's difficult to live like this life, you know.
But this turmoil predates the explosion. In 1975, a 15-year civil war broke out in Lebanon, nearly destroying Beirut, once called the Paris of the Middle East. The peace deal led to decades of mismanagement and corruption.
Most of the leadership that's in place today is actually the people who fought in Lebanon's civil war. They turned state institutions into extensions of their own fiefdom. Today, we're in a situation where there is, I wouldn't describe it as a vacuum, I'd describe it as complete political deadlock between the leadership or the mafia that is actually ruling the country.
Economic depression followed. The currency slumped. People's bank accounts became worthless or inaccessible, and everyday goods have become rare and unaffordable to many. Residents struggling to make ends meet, to even get basics like medicine and food.
So 1 year later, fast forward, we still have nothing on that file. There's no sense of accountability, there's no sense of justice, and they continue holding the country hostage to their narrow interests.
61-year-old George Jabor has never seen things this bad, telling us they're now experiencing up to 20 hours of electrical cuts each day.
I and all the Lebanese people have never experienced such a difficult economic situation. There are no medicines, no electricity.
His son Eli just graduated from university last year and has spent months searching for a job.
Out of around 100 students in my civil engineering in my age from the Lebanese American University, I think maybe 1 or 2 got jobs, and the rest are looking for either masters or they are still unemployed.
Over 30% of the Lebanese workforce is now out of a job, and between the power outages and the cost of living, Ili says many of his friends and family believe life in Beirut is becoming unbearable.
They are trying to fight with whatever is remaining. They are losing money by the day. There's no middle class anymore. The middle class has become poor, and I think they lost hope in this country.
For Dr. Isra Sablani, she's seeing the same challenges at work in the hospital.
The power cuts in Lebanon, of course, in the hospital as well. So there is a power generators. Once the power cuts, the generators work. But sometimes it takes time to turn on because, and this is critical because some patients are in the ICU, they are in critical cases, they need the ventilator, they need the oxygen, they need the monitor.
She just moved back from Michigan to be with her husband, who still hasn't been granted a visa to live in the US.
It's not easy to be in a new system in my life. It's not easy to, let's say, maybe lower the standards. I was working in one of the best hospitals in USA. So now I came here, I'm working with a governmental hospital in Lebanon.
As Lebanon struggles to dig its way out of this death spiral, Dr. Sablani, like so many Lebanese, has one overwhelming thought.
Many nights I think about to quit here in Lebanon and go back to USA, but I don't know.
Well, baby, you're having cheese.
After a year full of trauma, on her wedding anniversary, she's certain of one thing.
I want to feel safe with my husband. So I found this is the only way for now to be with him and we be together.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.